So let's go over our most recent proficiency check. We'll notice that problems 1 through 4 were about negative numbers, and problems 5 through 10 were about absolute value. For number 1, I'm going to use this number line, and I begin here at negative 4. When I add 3, that means I move 3 to the right, 1, 2, 3, and I land on negative 1. And from here, I'm going to subtract 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My final destination, negative 7. For number 2, I will take these 2 at a time because multiplication happens left to right. So when I have 2 multiplied by a negative 4, I know that 2 times 4 is 8, and my two numbers have a different sign, so it's going to come out negative. Then I'm going to multiply this by the negative 3 from the original problem. 8 times 3 is going to be 24, and since these two numbers have the same sign, I know it's going to come out positive. Number 3, there are actually invisible parentheses on the top of this fraction. So the first thing I do is multiply negative 6 times 4, and they have a different sign, so it's going to come out negative. I get negative 24. And I divide that next by a negative 12. These have the same sign, so it's going to come out positive, and my answer is 2. For number 4, I'll pull back out my number line. I start here at negative 10. Plus 3 means I am going to move to the right 1, 2, 3, and I'm at negative 7. Minus 6 means I am moving 6 to the left from here. So 1, 2, 3, back to negative 10, negative 11, negative 12, negative 13 is my final destination. 5, the absolute value of negative 13, measures the distance of negative 13 from 0, which is simply 13. 6, the absolute value of 22, is also positive, just a 22. For 7, what possible values could the absolute value of x be equal to 7? Either 7 or negative 7 would be correct, because the absolute value of 7 is equal to 7, and the absolute value of negative 7 is equal to 7. Number 8, this is either undefined, or if you wrote impossible or no solution, that would be fine, because an absolute value will never come out negative. So let's do what's inside of the absolute value brackets first for number 9. The negative stays there, and 6 plus 9 gives us 15. And we will add 4 multiplied by the absolute value of 3. So then 15 and 3 are both going to come out positive, so I have a negative 15 plus 4 times 3. That negative is really a negative 1, and it's being multiplied by 15. That's why it becomes negative 15. And 4 times 3 here becomes 12, so I have negative 15 plus 12, which gives me a negative 3. This last one, the first step is the absolute value brackets. So I take 6 plus 2 and negative 5 minus 1, and I get this. Next step is to resolve the absolute value brackets. So this becomes negative 8 on top and positive 6 on bottom. Then I'm going to take negative 8 divided by 6. And I can simplify this by dividing both by 2. And I end up with negative 4 over 3. And if I want to add 3 to this, I need to convert 3 into thirds. So I'm going to multiply this, and it turns into 9 over 3, because 3 over 1, tripled, becomes 9 over 3. If I want to add fractions, I need the same denominator. So this simplifies to 5 over 3.